Well, good morning, students. This is Sudipta Nath, your teacher for Theory of Machines and Mechanisms. Today, once again, we are meeting over here for the fifth part of first module of Theory of Machines and Mechanism. And today, we are going to discuss about the velocity analysis of planar mechanism, especially for 4-bar mechanisms and the very basic things of 4-bar mechanism that we are going to observe today. Now, when we are going to discuss about the velocity analysis, so first come in our mind that what exactly is velocity. Now, velocity, we know that it is a rate of change of position with respect to time. Now, when we are going to analyze the velocity of a mechanism, then there are two basic methods. One is graphical method and the other is vector loop method. Now, vector loop method is not included in your syllabus. So, right now I am not going to discuss about it in very detail about. But the graphical method, especially the relative velocity method, that is included in your syllabus. And instantaneous center method, if the time permits, then I will give you a brief overview of the instantaneous center method of velocity analysis. Regarding the relative velocity method, we know that velocity of any point on a link with respect to another point on the same link is always perpendicular to the line joining these points on the configuration or space diagram. For example, I am having a figure over here. In the left hand side, an arbitrary shape is there. Now point A and B, it is indicating that with respect to a static point A, point B is having a rotary or oscillatory type of motion. So when this type of motion that occurs, then definitely point B is having a linear velocity component which is acting perpendicular to the direction of motion of AB link. Now we may consider any arbitrary that is point C arbitrarily, I am telling repeatedly, arbitrarily on AB. Now as a matter of fact, we have to keep it in our mind that omega over here is the angular velocity and VBA, that is velocity of point B with respect to A, that is actually acting perpendicular to that particular link AB. Now, relative velocity method, today we are going to discuss about. There is a special consideration like that for this particular figure, if you can observe properly, then you will find out that there is point O, which is also known as pole. Now, through point O, we have to draw OA, which is parallel and equal to velocity A to some suitable scale. Now through A, that is point A, we have to draw a perpendicular to AB, capital A, capital B. Capital AB is actually the link. This capital A, capital B is indicating the link. Now this line will represent the velocity of B with respect to point A, capital A, that is VBA. Always remember, VBA and VAB, they are not same. VBA, that means velocity of point B with reference to A, whereas VAB means velocity of point A with reference to B. That is exactly the opposite meaning. So never ever do this mistake. Whenever you are going to find out velocity of point B with reference to any point capital A, then always you have to write VBA. Don't make the mistake of writing VAB or something like that. Now through point O, you have to draw a line parallel to VB, which is intersecting the line of VBA at point small b. Now we have to measure using scale that is the distance small o small b, which is nothing but a vector, that is the velocity vector, and which gives us the required velocity of point capital B, or which is also known as velocity b or vb. And by measuring it with suitable scale or multiplying it to some scaling factor, we will know the exact value of that particular velocity. Now it is a very theoretical phenomenon. For example, velocity difference for 2 points on the same body. For example, over here we have shown that is an object we call point A and point P. These are the two important point over here, where point A is the fulcrum, based on which point P is having some rotary or oscillatory type of motion. Now at any arbitrary point, when point PA is making theta angle with the horizontal, then we have to find out, that is two cases. Case 1, 2 points in the same body, which is the velocity difference, and case 2, 2 points in the different bodies, which is called as relative velocity. Over here, that is as per the given figure, we know that VPA, that is equal to velocity of P minus velocity of A. So altogether we are getting 3 different vectors, which is indicated by 3 red colored arrow and having names VPA, VA and VP. So by joining them or making a distribution among themselves as per the vector rule, we are getting that VPA is the summation of the 2 vectors VP and VA. Now if we further analyze these things, then also we can show it in a very elaborated way. As shown in this figure, I am going to share it to you, and later on you can study it well. Now over here, function of a basic 4-bar mechanism regarding which we are going to talk today. So I am having a small animation, that is, for example, over here it is a 4-bar mechanism for which red colored bar is the crank, blue colored bar is the connecting rod, and green color is the rocker arm, and the gray colored dotted line which is indicating the static link. Now suppose if we allow it to move freely, then as per the animation you can see that the crank rotates and the green colored rocker arm, that will actually oscillate, okay, something like that. So rotation and oscillation side by side, it will happen. So definitely there is some linear velocity component that will generate by this method. Now over here, what exactly is going on? Let us start analyzing this thing. So the red colored crank, which is named here AB, capital A, capital B, which is having an angular velocity of rotation omega 1, which is rotating in clockwise direction. Now remember that when that happens, then definitely the next link, which is called as connecting rod or indicated by capital B, capital C over here, it is actually having a tendency of rotation just in the reverse direction. Now you may ask me the question that why it is rotating in reverse direction, or why it is having a tendency of rotation in reverse direction, or always it will rotate in reverse direction, or is there any particular situation may appear when the crank and the connecting rod, that is adjacent two links, they will rotate in the same direction, when it will happen or whether it happens or not. Let me give you the answer of this question. Look closely. Over here you can see that the angle ABC, over here the angle ABC, it is actually greater than 90 degree but less than 180 degree. When the situation arises something like that, that the angle between ABC is greater than 90 degree but less than 180 degree, then always remember, due to inertia force individually acting on this particular type of links, so whatever may be the direction of rotation of AB, which is called as crank, exactly opposite direction BC, which is also called as connecting rod, will rotate. That means when the crank is having a tendency of rotation in the clockwise direction, the connecting rod will have a tendency of rotation in the anti-clockwise direction. Now, what happens if this particular angle ABC is less than 90 degree or greater than 180 degree? My dear friend, please remember that when the angle between angle ABC, that is between the crank and the connecting rod, is less than 90 degree or greater than 180 degree, then the rotational direction will be in the same sense. That is, if the crank is rotating in the clockwise direction, the connecting rod, it must rotate also in the clockwise direction. I repeat that if the angle between ABC is less than 90 degree or greater than 180 degree, then the tendency of rotation of connecting rod, that is BC, will be exactly same than that of the crank. That is, when the crank is rotating in the clockwise direction, the connecting rod, it also will rotate in the clockwise direction. Now coming back for this section B, C and D, that is between the rocker arm and the connecting rod. BC is the connecting rod and CD is the rocker arm. Important thing, from the crank we have to note that from point B, the velocity, linear velocity component VBA is acting perpendicularly towards the right hand direction, that is towards the direction of rotation, which is making an angle of 90 degree. Now BC, if we are considering, that is with respect to B, when the point C is rotating in anti-clockwise direction, then this particular line, this particular blue line which is acting in the upward direction, that is VCB, it is making 90 degree or it is perpendicular to BC, which is connecting rod, and making an angle of 90 degree. It is the velocity component of this connecting rod. And regarding CD, if this one is rotating in anti-clockwise direction, then using the same law, that is if the angle is more than 90 degree and less than 180 degree, then the direction of rotation will be just opposite. That because with respect to B, C is rotating in the anti-clockwise direction, so with respect to D, C also will rotate in the clockwise direction, and so on. So the velocity component will be VCD, just like this, which is actually explained over here simultaneously. So we got omega 2 and omega 3 over here. We may not know right now the value of omega 2, the value of omega 3 right now, but we have to calculate and we have to find out if required. Now, if we know the direction of motion of the three vectors, then by knowing any one of the magnitude of the vector, the magnitude of the other two vectors could be found out easily. Just we have to construct the velocity diagram simply by drawing the parallel lines one after the another. So we know, if we know the value of VBA just like this, important thing to note that point A and point D, the connector, that is the static link, so AD is fixed at this particular point. So with respect to AD, velocity B with reference to A, that is VBA, is acting in the right hand downward direction and it is parallel. This VBA and over here it is drawn, this VBA, they are parallel to each other. Now if we know the magnitude of this particular length. For example, how do you know the magnitude of this particular length? Suppose the omega value is given. Suppose it is given as 2 radian per second, and suppose this length AB, it is known. For example, it is 5 meter. Then we must know that velocity equal to r into omega, that is omega, which was 2 radian per second multiplied by r. R means the distance from A to B, which is equal to 5. So 5 into 2, that is 10 meter per second. So velocity VBA, it is equal to, it is representing 10 meter per second velocity. It is not representing any distance, it is representing a velocity. Remember, now we cannot incorporate 1:1 scale over here. We have to take suitable scale when we are doing this type of numerical problem in our copies. So 10 meter per second can be reproduced as 10 centimeter, that is from A to B, this length, it can be taken as 10 centimeter. So what is the scaling factor over here? 10 meter is shown as 10 meter per second is shown as 10 centimeter over here. That means 1 meter per second is shown as 1 centimeter over here. So the scaling factor is 1:100. 1:100 scale we are using. Next, what will be the step? The next step will be, from point B we have to draw a parallel line in the upward direction, that of VCB, just like this. Now how long we have to draw this parallel line? We don't know. We have to simply draw this line in upward direction, just like that. And we also have to draw parallel line VCD right from point D, just like this. Now they will intersect at some point and we will call it point C. I repeat once again, we have to draw two parallel lines, that is VCB from point B and VCD from point D. These two lines, they will intersect at a particular point and we call it point C. This length we may measure using our normal scale. Suppose, as we know that A to B was 10 centimeter, now we may find B to C, this is equal to 5.5 centimeter, and C to D, it is equal to 8 centimeter, for example. So if it is 5 centimeter, then we know that this representing 5.5 meter per second, and CD, if it is 8 centimeter, then we know it is representing 8 meter per second. So it is simple, just like that. Now the next part, which is also very important, it is called as velocity of rubbing or rubbing velocity. The rubbing velocity of the two surfaces will depend upon the angular velocity of a link relative to the other. For example, over here, if you look the right hand side, that is for pin A, let RA, that is radius of A, and velocity of rubbing should be equal to radius of A, that is RA into omega BA, and for pin D, that is second pin, let RD equal to radius of pin at D. So velocity of rubbing will be RD, that is nothing but omega CD. For pin at B, in the previous figure that I can show, that is omega BA, that should be equal to omega AB, which is clockwise, and omega BC equal to omega CB, that is nothing but velocity CB by velocity BC, that is in counterclockwise direction. Now since the direction of two angular velocities of link AB and BC are in the opposite direction, the angular velocity of one link relative to the other is the sum of the velocities. For example, let RB, that is radius of the pin at B, that is velocity of rubbing, that is RB into within bracket omega AB plus omega BC. Similarly, at pin C, we must consider that is omega BC equal to omega CB or omega DC equal to omega CB. Both of them are rotating in clockwise and counterclockwise, that is in relatively opposite direction. Now considering RC is the radius of the pin, velocity of rubbing should be RC within bracket omega BC plus omega DC, something like that. So this is how velocity of rubbing we can calculate. Now just to tease your brain, okay, look at the given figure. Now try to figure out the tendency of direction of rotation of the link CB. Okay, consider end C to rotate around the end B, that is with respect to B. If C is supposed to rotate, then what will be the sense of rotation? Will it be clockwise or will it be anti-clockwise? Remember, AB is rotating in clockwise direction. Now, can anybody among you tell me that with respect to B, C is rotating in clockwise or in anti-clockwise direction? Anybody? Okay, it is a task for you. If you find time, then you can give me the answer. Okay, now let us just overview a numerical problem, something like that. That is for a 4-bar mechanism of the given dimension. The dimensions are all given. We have to solve and find out that if angle BAD is rotating in anti-clockwise direction, then we have to find out the velocity components of each individual part. So first of all, we can draw the velocity diagram surely, just like this. Okay, then how the velocities are analyzed, that also I have shown over here. It is also very simple. And then we have to find out what is the exact value of the velocity components, simply by solving by this method. If you go through this, you will understand. But don't forget and do remember that whenever you are finding out the component value and omega value, then please remember to write down whether it is having a tendency of rotation in clockwise or in anti-clockwise direction. Okay, so that's all for today's class. If you are having any question, you can later contact me and provide me in the link. Okay, so thank you for this session. Have a nice day.